What's going on, YouTube? Time for another recap. A little bit different one today. We're going to do a trade setup from start to finish on this recap. Just starting here on the old Discord first. Just wanted to go through just a couple tiny things, what we do here in the pre-market premium Discord all morning, breaking down minute by minute by minute. So after we talked about our price target for ES, which is the no tag golden pocket, and I said we would come down 21,981 short first and then Q. Then we're talking about some longer targets. We're talking about exactly what to look for when we short. Again, tightening, so the short was going to come later on the VWAPs. I mean, I go through every little tiny thing all the way to give our price targets, on ES down to that GP, right? So here's an NQ outlook right here. Down to the GP is what you wanted to see. So I had NQ down to 21,953.34. I gave, my SPY prediction down to the golden pocket, half candle retrace. We wanted to see SPY down at yesterday's golden pockets. We're utilizing the same thing I taught last Saturday on our live stream on YouTube here. Check it out. This is exactly tit for tat, exactly what it is. So the final trade call was at 7 a.m., an hour and a half before market open. I said short anything under that VWAP for the late day. Into 6,100 and 213. Let me back up here a little bit. 6133.84, and that was the golden pocket first tag, and then more to go is what I said later on. So that target was at 7 a.m., okay? Hour and a half before market open. Finally comes down. We're posting our PNLs. We're doing good today. A couple big scalps back and forth. We ended up 3 green, 1 red. Good PNLs here today. The VIX worked very well. And of course, the last trade call I left my group with was, guys, watch pops into 61.58 area, pop into the VWAP, then short. Again, I was telling everybody pop to short 9:25 a.m. Central, hour after market open. It was going to pop into these anchor VWAPs here, gave them a zone, fail rejection, right? So I called pop into 6156, fail down to 6133, as it says above. So we go over this. I called a bounce right here at zone. So I said it was going to bounce right here at purple zone and then head up into those anchors again, short 6150s and down. Just reiterating. Come back later for the day, and lo and behold, there it is, all the way down to 6138.53. And again, I'm just blowing everybody up, 6127.57, and we have those green targets. Okay, let's get into it. So how did we figure all this out? I want to break all this down on how we predicted everything hours before the market happens, okay? If you are lost on these trade setups or metrics or Fibonacci's, please check out the Do This Every Day video in the live channel. I'll put a link in the description again here. And this is what we do for part 1, part 2. Tomorrow, noon, Central Time, I will be on YouTube again going over part 2 on algorithms and Fibonacci setups and what you see here. So we're going to do a mini recap today. How did we get the golden pocket? How did we outlook short? Well, we were at all-time highs yesterday. So this becomes the most important candle to the algorithms at all-time highs because we don't have any historic resistance, right? We do have some support, no resistance. So what I like to do is I fib out the day prior candle. I come to the intraday. I see if we got any algos and data, so on and so forth. And because this is a first tag metric, again, watch the video on our trade setups and what first tag and algos mean. We have a great chance to come back down to the golden pocket as long as we are under 609.75. Very simple, right? And another metric I like to overlap is the pre-market high-low. Here's your pre-market low. Here's your pre-market high. And this gives us a smaller, tighter Fibonacci algo sequence to look for the further breakdown. Okay, so what gave us this outlook short? I'm only going to show you guys a couple different metrics here, very easy to predict. This right here, pre-market high-low zone, this becomes a crazy over-under for continuation. We had gaps at the bottom we noted in the breakdowns, and we had magnets that were going to drive us all the way down to that ES target, which we'll go over here in a minute. So if we back this up here a little bit, we have 2 fibs. That's it. Pre-market high-low, yesterday's high-low. That's it. So outlook was short today. Why was the outlook short today? Well, let me drag over the old volatility index here with the old VIXy. Back up here a little bit. And on the VIX, you're going to see support for 3 days, right? Because we're coming into 3 different things we're going to cover. Psychology, what day is it? Friday, end of the week, holiday week, low volume squeeze up, generally hits all-time highs, presidential election, inauguration, okay? Big psychological catalyst to keep this all the way up to Friday, but doesn't have to close real strong Friday. Just has to hit an all-time high potential, then sell. That's the psychology. Friday, sell, short week, holiday week. There was a chance to retrace back to yesterday's high-low Fibonacci. Why is that? Taking a peek at the volatility index on the VIX. This is big support. -1 year to date, -1 year to week. These are standard deviation levels on the daily and the weekly integrated into our intraday chart. So on the 1 year time frame, this is the -1 standard deviation for the daily and the weekly, which means massive support on VIX. Okay, so when this was down trending, and I'm like, oh man, we're getting really close to that stand dev again, and we've been holding it for days and days and days. Watch for that support. And then I said I wanted to see the VIX get all the way up, back up to the GP here, this little data candle fib. So anything support-wise, we're going to push back up to close to the GP. I said 1520. We made it very close, made about 1516 within 4 cents of our target, did leave a gap. But the big takeaway here, VIX, massive support deviations, okay? So leading into a Friday push to all-time highs, and then the VIX consolidating for 3 days worth of no fear. It's time to give us a little bit of a pullback, right? Good psychology there. Let's take a peek at our oscillation indicators before we get back into the prediction targets, and we'll do it on SPY and ES, okay? All-time highs at 610, good. Half whole dollar, 610, that's good. Lower high, right? Later on in the day here, it's chopping those fibs. It's not giving you great. RSI, lower high, good. Good correlation, right? We have a really good, excuse me, really good setup here correlating price action and oscillation indicators, right? And with our pre-market high-low Fibonacci sequence, we had a massive over-under zone. Notice when it came from highs, it hit massive over-under zone and then broke through. But what does my group call this right here? Note the price action opened here. Push to all-time highs as expected. Down. What do we call this? First tag live. This is pre-market. This is live. This golden pocket from the Fibonacci pre-market high-low, that's the golden pocket between 609.37 and 609.7 cents. I called a short to 609. And to get out and watch that long, there's that snap. This is the first time price action has came down into this golden pocket. Perfect hold. Up, lower high, broken down, and then you look for the later day sell, right? Perfect. So very good outlook there on SPY. Let's take a peek at ES and how we pick those targets. We're going to go over the exact same thing. These are the pretty pictures that I drew on. Let's move this to the right here. For my chat, we had the all-time high candle. I just wanted to watch what that was looking like because this is all-time highs on futures. Now, futures and SPY move a little bit different. So we had a couple different trades to look for here where ES is all-time high, 6163.75, does not have to retest if SPY is at all-time highs, okay? This is why we always use SPY to trade the ES. The SPY indicators, intradays, VWAPs, price levels all matter way more than ES. Just using an ES chart, a little silly. SPY gives you way better outlooks. We trade ES every day off SPY. That's how we've always done it for 5 years. Plus, it's actually longer than that now. It's the only way to do it. So when we came into today, we had the all-time high of the day candle. I drew these pretty pictures that you see all over here. Oh, that's a lot of volume right there. On our chart here, let's make it a little cleaner. Just want to get rid of this volume. It's in the way. So I said anything long above this squeeze, we're going to chase that all-time high up, and it might come here. Free trade, right? So we had a long right here back up because SPY was trending into all-time high where ES still had an all-time high to come meet. So we were green, which is the long trade right here, over yesterday's highs. Target 6163.94. Well, we missed it by a smidge, by about a point. Okay, no big deal. Short outlook was the main focus of the day, and I put on our green targets to the low side. A massive target, 6138.53 that we went over, and my big green right here of 6133.84 as we discussed earlier. So I put on this beautiful candle, and we said, man, if this thing starts to break back down, and I only wanted it inside 61.54 right here. Okay, so where did we get that? Let's delete this intraday fib. Let's go to the daily chart real quick. And again, this is first tag metrics, the exact same thing we just did on SPY. Very basic. 2 indicators, guys. 2. That's it. And all I did was I took yesterday's high and low, and then I watched the close of yesterday, 6148.62. This candle, right? Right? Okay, so once it broke down inside, because this is our fib box right here, right? That's yesterday's range. down to the golden pocket of 6133. We call this the GP here in my group for the last decade plus. As we're coming down into that fib, that's our magnet. So we needed to lose with conviction, break down the close of yesterday. You see the white dashed line right here? That's yesterday's close. So I'm going to delete this. That's where I got it. I just wanted to show you on the daily level there. So white dashed line, that's yesterday's close. Conviction under that, and the call was down to 613384, as I showed you in Discord in the beginning of the video. So as we broke down, I drew this red candle for the group, the green candle. If we are not above yesterday's highs, we are not green candling. We are breaking down. Now let's look at this beautiful price action we had. Again, it's going to correlate perfectly well with the oscillation. Don't need to go over that. But we broke down into all the moving averages. Okay, back test. Pushed up, created the lower high, snap, lower high, snap. What did it lose right here, right? What was it defending the entire day? Yesterday's close consolidation, yesterday's close consolidation. Well, those two consolidations are very different, right? With the RSI and the MACD, also known as continued weakness later on in the day, also known as AKA we told you VIX was at massive support over and over again today. So we expected selling, right? And what do I always tell my group? After about 11 a.m., so between 10:30 11 a.m., we get a euro close. The algorithms let go of the U.S. market because of the EU close, right? So if we were under yesterday's highs, look at it, broke, lower high, and snap. When did it snap? 10:30 11 is usually reversal time. Let's look up here. Oh, man. Perfect lower high setup to lower high after the euro close. That's our favorite algorithm close. So breaks the moving averages, comes all the way down, rides my favorite indicator. You always hear me say this purple dash line. That is the volume weighted average price. Orange is +2 deviation from the VWAP, -2 in the blue from the VWAP center. So these markers between the VWAP are 2 deviations out, blue on the bottom, orange on the top. And as we had discussed earlier, we actually had to push into the 2. We said it'd probably fail near there, just ride the orange up to price level, missed by point, no big deal. Comes down, and we rode the -2 the entire way down. Now, once it broke VWAP here, and 100 EMA and 200 SMA, and respectively, we drew this way before it happened. This red candle is what I had on my screen for my group way early. And I said, anything under those yesterday's highs, guys, watch for the breakdown structure. You got perfect confirmation here. And then the volatility index also helped you out right there at 11. Yeah, I was basing at 10:30 and 11, same thing. So the base on the VIX was happening perfectly in sync. So with the big candle I drew for the short idea, mine only came down to the big green zone here. I only wanted the golden pocket. Anything past that, it's all bonus. And that's what it hit. So we shied it right here, came down into the green zone again, drawing these pretty pictures of the short targets that we had for the day. And that is it. We had a beautiful outlook in Discord very early, 6 in the morning. We were talking about this whole trade all morning for the short. And we nailed it. Bottom line, sorry, I'm a little tired for the week. So last but not least, I'm just going to touch on the anchors real quick. I told you guys SPY was at all-time highs yesterday, right? So all we did is we took the ending candles of the volume-weighted average price. If you want to learn a lot more about the anchor VWAPs, check out Connor, my partner's YouTube. Connor Peripheral. I probably said the wrong polyfiller. His last name is impossible to say for me. I'll put his link in the description, too, if you want to check out Connor. He's an amazing trader. Check him out on Twitter. Calls a lot of BTC stuff. But these anchors are first tags. And what that means is we draw the anchors in live trading. This is live. This is after hours, this is pre, this is live again. So these are the last anchors, VWAP anchors, that are pegged on the all-time high candles and no tag, which means no tag means, you guessed it, the price action has not ran into the VWAP. That is it. So if I would have put this VWAP on the bottom, if TradingView wants to do that, there we go. See how the price action runs into that candle? That's a tag. That one's no good. This one is no tag. Simple as that. So I called short also. Once we break down this VWAP channel, these algorithms are going to watch these VWAPs very close. It's just extra confirmation. We had a million things to use between sentiment, deviation, MACD, RSI, you name it. But that anchor, just another helpful hand. And first tag metrics. So again, watch my live from last Saturday, first tag metrics. What does that mean? Well, the first time something is tagged, it generally has a reaction point to it. Look at the open. First tag of that top anchor went long. Dink. First tag of this anchor went long. And then it chopped it and didn't really have that. But then we had continuation through the channel. So the first tag long here snapped. And then as it came into the second anchor, that's the first time price action has seen this anchor because it was built from yesterday. right? Get what I'm saying? Okay. First tags are huge. So if any of that sounds good, you want to see me do this live, talk to our Discord. It's all a live stream. We break down these trades every single day. If that sounds good, you want to join us, the link is in the description. If not, hey, we'll see you on the next YouTube video and tomorrow for the live stream. Take care.